Hello? Hello, hello? Oh my. Let's get a look-see doodle here. Okay. Oh my gosh, Lumbra. I think Lumbra was here before the stream even physically started. Oh my. Hello, everybody. Hello, friends. How's it going? Gosh, so wanted to welcome you all to another Meowkbang. This is Meowkbang D. And gosh, I mean, I'm really excited. There are some features here that are kind of insane, um, and some that I've just wanted to try for forever, and some that I don't know anything about in terms of what to expect. So, really excited. So let me see here. I want to do something that I neglected to do in some of the past Meowkbangs. Um, it's a good idea though to get it up on there. I want to pin a message on the chat just so that if anyone drops in, I want them to at least have some clue like okay, what all are we featuring, or at least the vast majority of what all we're featuring. So let me go ahead and copy this little note that I made to myself. As we're getting started here, how's everyone doing? Everybody who's able to make it, how are you? Shoot. It's been an interesting day for me. I wanna say, I've been at one point I thought I had everything super coordinated and that it was gonna be like almost a boring day, and then I reconsidered, and I was like, oh crap, I actually have to do this. I have to do that. I have to prep these things, make sure these other things are ready, etc. So okay, getting by at work. I'm glad to hear it, Lumbra. I mean, sometimes that's all you can hope for and that's all you get, and at the end of the day, it's actually really nice when you can just get by through your day at work. You know, you aren't stressed out, or even if you're really lucky, it doesn't even feel like work. Those are like the best ever. Gosh, I can just tell already this is going to be formatted so funny. That's okay. We're all very kind and loving friends here. Oh man, I can't wait to go down the list myself and talk to you guys about what exactly we've got. Daifuku, and finally, these last little guys. Alright, I got a heck of a list to rattle off for you, and I love to do this. This is my favorite part, I think, of setting up the stream and actually getting it kicked off. I adore getting a chance to just leave this big ol' message up and you know manually unpinned or end of stream. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. So welcome in. We got that situated. Should have gotten that situated like 10 minutes ago, whatever. So let me read my own list because gosh, there's a lot to go through here, right? I've got Danablu, a Danish blue cheese that I had a lot of trouble finding and almost gave up on and found at the very last second. Double cream Brie. I'll unhide the Brie, but it is double cream, and that is important. I'd love to talk to you guys about the differences on that in a bit. Something a bit peculiar that I've never even heard of before. This is called Dirt Lover, and it is a sheep's milk cheese. We've got some of the Danish creamery butter, the butter that I love to call YouTuber butter, because that's like what it is practically. A really cool and yet to be even known of by me cheese. I've never even heard of this. It is called Dvaro. And I'm pretty sure that that's how you basically pronounce it. It might be more like Dvaro, but it's a Lithuanian cheese, so really interesting lace-like structure on it. I'm super curious. I've got a duck liver and pork mousse, kind of like pate. You know, it's a lot like pate. but I believe it's a little bit more in a moussey direction because it features things other than just duck liver. I'm not an expert in the difference, but yeah. Got the golden dragon fruit. Now, golden dragon fruit's really cool, and if you have ever tried dragon fruit, I actually recommend that you keep an eye out for this. A lot of Westerners get really underwhelmed by the regular red dragon fruit or red pitaya. Um, Please keep an eye out for the gold one. It's actually really flavorful by comparison. Got some Daifuku. Daifuku are mochi that are stuffed. Mochi that have something inside them. And there are other names for that exact concept, but these are Daifuku. They are labeled as, and they are in form Daifuku. So, really excited to feature those. Yeah, a lot of people think that mochi by default are a filled little thing. Mochi are not actually filled by default. They're only filled when that is the end goal, the desired end goal. But it has become so popular that people just think, oh, it's a mochi. They bite into it and they're like, where's the filling? Well, technically speaking, the mochi is the filling when it's just mochi. All right. This is a type of squash I never had heard of before. I'll put up some pictures of what it looked like when I was first finding it, first kind of tinkering around with it. And I'll put that up in the Discord. It's called Delicata squash. And I'm hoping that the texture and maybe even the flavor are quite delicate. This is a Döner kebab. Some people pronounce it Döner, but everything I was finding and looking at the original Turkish pronunciation, it should be Döner. So like the R is more like a Frenchy kind of R. It's more rasped. And the O, it actually has a diaresis or whatever you want to call those. Udarenia, diaresis, whatever your term you use in the language. And they are indicative of the O being pronounced more like a sound. So yeah, really cool. I've got some Daikon, and Daikon is just a really popular radish in East Asia. It's big. It has a fairly like a middling radish flavor. It's not the spiciest in the world, and it's not super duper mellow. And I went and put the Daikon on my mandolin to kind of give us a nice shave thin chip type texture. Got Dalgona. Dalgona is the Squid Game candy. And it's made very simply. It is actually just a sugar base with baking soda or sodium bicarbonate in some form or another added into it, and it gives it a honeycomb-like texture. Oh, here's a fun one. Any of my friends that are from like Europe, they're gonna be really familiar with this from the get-go. So this is a type of biscuit or cookie or cracker. It's called Digestives, and it is effectively in texture and taste. It's a lot more like a graham cracker than many other cookies, but this one being a no sugar added, I knew it would be perfect because I need something to add a lot of this food to. A cracker, a bread, something fun to form a good foundation. And these digestive cookies actually function a lot more like a nice toasty cracker, especially when they are the no sugar, no sweetening type. The reason they're called digestives is essentially because they have a bit more actual fiber in them, and it's done in a somewhat elegant way such that you can taste the toasty aspect of the grain in it, and it functions well for if you have a lot of like bloating or indigestion. This could be a really helpful addition to your diet if you took cookies with tea every night, something like that. All right, these are dolmades. Dolmadakia and dolmad or dolmads are how they are labeled, but at the end of the day, they are the same thing. I wanted to try two different kinds and see what I thought, how I felt about it. Dolmades are really fun, really cool little finger food. essentially Mediterranean. I think multiple cultures claim them. When I was introduced to them, I was told that they're a Greek thing. And I believe that they are in terms of possibly like a place of origin, but I've talked to various friends from various parts of the world near the Balkans, the Mediterranean areas, and um, the Middle East. A lot of different cultures claim authorhood or whatever of dolmades. It is essentially just a grape leaf stuffed with cooked rice with a good little seasoning, packed in oil, and they're a lovely finger food. I would say that's like a must at any like elegant type of bacchanal or finger food type of party. This is a fun one. This is I'm not doing this for shock value. This is actually something I love a lot, which is evaporated milk. I found one called Dairy Girl. I've never seen it before, and I actually, being kitty, you really like milk, but evaporated milk is like a special treat. It's like, oh, cool, it's 2 times the milky. Love that. Um, Probably one of the dumbest things here is the double chocolate donut from Dunkin'. I mean, what can I say about that? That is just something that I thought of at the last second. I saw that there was a Dunkin' Donuts, and this is the D Meowkbang, right? Oh my god, I need to fix the title, guys. I just saw that. Well, let me get that edited and updated real quick because I don't want to mislead nobody. Meowkbang D, baby. Let's get that edited. Meowkbang D. Join in the D lights. Heck yeah. That's gonna be a good one. Oh man. See, I ended up running into something kind of unfortunate. The GoPro with which I filmed these had a bit of an issue, right? It uses an HDMI capture card because it is an older edition of this really good quality camera. And what happens with that is that unfortunately you run into issues with the HDMI capture card, which with the cable, or God forbid with the ports on the actual camera. But we got lucky, and ultimately it was pretty easy. It was an easy fix. All right. Let's crack into something. If nobody's got any suggestions on where to start, I feel like it's appropriate to start with something akin to an appetizer, as much as I'm juiced to try the Döner Kebab. Let's go ahead and get some of this. I don't believe I actually announced it when I was going down the list of things. I've got here Dutch Crunch, just a really standard type of bread in a lot of delis here in North America. Yep. Nothing out of the ordinary there. But it is very enjoyable bread. So, I want to go ahead and crack into this. This is Doktorskaya Kilbasi, or Kilbasa. I'm trying to remember the actual original Russian name for it. Basically, it is translated as doctor's sausage because that is effectively historically what it was. There was a doctor in the USSR who recognized people suffering from a type of protein deficiency through prolonged starvation and devised effectively a recipe a lot like bologna, but it was supposed to be, I believe, easier to stomach, easier to store. It worked with what they had in the USSR. Really interesting stuff. Effectively, it is a lot like bologna, but I haven't tried it since I was a kid, if I even had it truly when I was a kid. So usually, this is just had as like a butterbrod in in Russia or in Eastern European countries where it's popular, you can totally cook with it. But I would say the most common place I've seen it is like in a butterbrod, which would just be like a bread with butter and then various additions. Let's go ahead and get another slice off. And yeah, I'll leave some of these up here so you guys can kind of get a look-see-doodle at them. This particular Doktorskaya is from Lithuania because I think that was what was available for our international market. I tried to find like a variety to pick from, but I could actually only find this one by Biovela. So excited and really eager to try it. So I'm gonna get some of this butter because, like I said, we are kind of imitating a butterbrod, but I don't even really need that much butter. If I had something like Dijon mustard, I might like go for a bit more butter on the spread, but I just want like a simple pat pretty much. How crazy do you guys go for bread with butter? Because I've come to learn that it's like partly a cultural thing how significant it is, and then it's partly just like a personal thing. Like some people are, you know, more used to perhaps like more intricate foods and they're kind of whatevs about bread with butter. That was me for the longest time. I've come around to appreciating it more in my adult life, but took some time to get there. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I gotta say, the flavor is almost identical to bologna. It's a bit less pungent, though. It's a lot more like reeled in. Okay. Okay, so the butter is actually really pleasant. It is like milk fat, so it's kind of almost silly in a way to even compliment it too much. You know, of course you're gonna like it. You're a mammal. You're human. You probably like milk fat, but the butter really does add to that whole little bit. Let's go ahead and do a quick palate cleanse. I actually really like that we did some Daikon like chips on the mandolin because this will be a really nice little palate cleanser, I think. Just in case we want to cut something and don't want to have the doctor sausage like flavor overpowering or even tinging, I gotta wipe my knife clean. Okay, it's really tempting to go in for another bite of that because I'm a simple creature and I love stuff like this. But let's go ahead and hold it. Let's pause on the Doktorskaya kielbasa and let's mix it up. And I want to try some Delicata squash. So this is Delicata. This is a squash that only became available in my area semi recently. And as with a lot of the produce I try to get, it does happen to be an organic Delicata squash. I did this in a simple way to preserve as much of the like delicate flavor and texture as I could, as well as to make it like an enjoyable mild food in contrast to some of these more pungent ones. And this is just steamed with like a broth base that was seasoned over it. Oh, Gabby, you're not that late. We only really just got the ball rolling. Lot of jabbering and yapping at the beginning. Thank you for coming and welcome in, Gabby. So here's our first bite of Delicata squash. Okay, so the texture, much more delicate, no pun, I think, intended there. More delicate than that of the acorn squash, and the flavor more subdued, less sweet than that of a butternut squash. Dairy Girl. Dairy Girl is evaporated milk. And I got it because after having a lot of more like astringent or punchy foods with a pungent flavor, I do enjoy like a glass of evaporated milk. I view it as a treat. I don't want you guys to think that I'm like flooring it toward like an early death or something. And I don't think there's that much in the way of health concerns for having it even semi regularly. But once in a blue moon, I have evaporated milk as a treat for myself, especially if I'm going to be cooking with it. I can't deprive myself. I'll get myself a can. So this is evaporated milk. I really only got it because I saw it in passing at the international market, and I was like, Dairy Girl, dude. So I went ahead and got one of these. Mmm. Our kebab. It is Döner kebab, and from everything I was able to find, Döner is supposed to be lamb and beef. So lamb and beef are the filling here. The place that I got this from does a lot of Döner kebab and related style kebabs, but I was like, let's go for the traditional filling, which is the lamb and beef. Um, as you know, or as you might know, it is a Turkish dish. Um, the word is Turkish, and it comes from essentially a piece of the Turkish vocabulary meaning to turn. So it's kind of like turner kebab or rotating kebab because of the authentic rotisserie on which these are originally sort of prepared. So to answer your question, lamb and beef. Lamb and beef. And I asked about the bread. I know that pita is not like 100% traditional, but the guy who ran the place said that pita is okay. And he was just the type of guy who is so charismatic that you just don't even question that. He's like, pita is okay. And I was like, yeah, you know what? It is. It is so okay. Let's go, guys. Let's try this. Okay. Hmm. Gabby, you feel like it's basically become German cuisine? That's cool. In a way, right? That's like, that's beautiful. If everyone's jiving with it, everyone digs it. I love that kind of thing. It's like, I'm an East Indian kid, like half East Indian. And when I learned how popular various curries from our culture are and have been in Europe, such that they've inspired all these fusion cuisines and have been adopted into local fare and all these awesome things, it made me feel really good because growing up here, it was very like pocketed away into its own thing. It was doing its own thing until just like the last decade, really. Maybe in some of the more really like densely populated cities you would see more fusion cuisine and more ready adaptations happening, but not out here, even though we are in a major city. Just not major enough. It's really good. I like the light spiced flavor. The like really savory, the lovely mix of high quality fresh vegetables. Like there's everything about this type of fare that you love, like when you get like gyro or shawarma, or even like some of the related kind of lesser known variants. This being like the OG technically, although the bread is not supposedly not the OG bread, is really exciting. And this is another interesting note. So much of what they serve is served with tzatziki, kind of a parallel to a more authentic yogurt sauce, but that was what was recommended, and so I decided to just say, okay, let's go for it. I think that this might be a Döner with like much more widespread pan Mediterranean type flair. But that's cool. Um, really tasty, very delicious, like savory assortment of flavors, and it's the type of thing that gets you ready to have like a little something sweet. So let's do that. Let's get a little something sweet on the block, and we're so coming back to this before any concern about how fresh it is can even be on the mind. I actually, part of the reason I scrambled toward the end of setting this stream up is because I wanted to get the Döner kebab here as fresh as possible. So that means, because I don't have any crew, like basically, Ali can't. He can't pick it up for me, you know, as cute as that would be. So I just went out and got it right before this all began. Okay, something sweet, but not crazy sweet. Let's have a more traditional type of Daifuku. Now, Daifuku, in and of itself, is way less traditional than mochi. Way less traditional. But this type of Daifuku, where it is just filled with the red bean paste, is pretty traditional. The one thing detracting from that or adding to the modernity of it would be the black sesame seeds all over. So there we have it. Coated in a nice little layer of black sesame seeds, barely any want to fall off. And let's go. Let's give this a big bite. So I'm a big fan of Daifuku. I really love the artisanal ones that you can get if you're like in Japan or in a very Japanese area, where they have like fresh fruit pressed into them. Like expert care is taken, and it's pretty much only good for a few hours after it's made. Um, but red bean paste is a delight. I personally have always loved how that texture that we associate with so many savory things, especially in the Southwest US here, is instead really like delicately sweet. Really love that. Probably gonna finish that soon, but let's contrast it with a couple bites of savory food. Doktorskaya, kielbasa. Let's go. This is a type of food that, on one hand, yeah, I do kind of want tea to go with it, so I get aim, but I just immediately think of having like a beer to go with this, and so I think we'll do that. Well, Gabby, as long as you're still here, you might recognize this. Although this does seem to be branded specifically for export. So, Perhaps, perhaps not. This is a Irlbacher Dunkel export. So the name is like Schlochernweiss. I'm not sure. I may have pronounced that pretty janky. But yeah, a Dunkel export, because I have found a lot of Irlbacher beers, and I want to save some more of that for when we get to I. So I thought about it, and it's like, well, what I'm featuring is less so just the brewery, but more so as well the style. So Dunkel or Dunkel, which I take it to mean it is a darker beer, if I've understood correctly. There's a lot of beer vocabulary across Europe, though, so it's easy to get some of it mixed up. So here goes. Oh, all right, all right. There's a reason I keep like a lightly dampened cloth on hand, just to nicely take care of stuff like that. We don't want the whole thing just covered in splishy drops for the rest of the entire stream. That would be crazy. So yeah, let me get that up there so you can kind of see it. Ta-da! Irlbacher, or Irlbacher. I'm still really curious about the I and the R coming together in German, because I've never studied any German. Not yet. Not yet studied any of that. All right. Cheersy poo. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. It's kind of hard to tell with the fragrance alone of a beer, because many bitter taste chemicals can hide and they aren't immediately apparent on the nose. But this particular beer is very smooth drinking and has like this really pleasant, sort of like a roasty toasty kind of flavor to it, as you would expect, being like this Dunkel, where it's more focused on being a dark beer. No, no unpleasant surprise there. So, that was a decent number of like semi-heavy foods back to back. The Daifuku, the Butterbrot with this Doctor sausage. I'm thinking could try to sample another one of our more fresh foods. Could I please top this off and be done with the can? Perfect. All right. You love it. You love to see it. Okay, guys. Let's go ahead and I'd love if we could try some of this dragon fruit. So, a lot of people in the West, especially out here in the US, are mostly just familiar with this. This is the red dragon fruit, or red pitaya. And it has a lot less flavor in general going on than the yellow counterpart. This is what I'm really excited to get into. But I feel that we should at least crack this open, because it is a beautiful fruit and I do enjoy its fresh texture and flavor a lot. Look at that. Got our red pitaya. Beautiful. So there are many ways to prepare this in terms of making it into a little bitty bite. But I am a big fan of just going for a big ring, and you cut that into 2 little half moon wedges. And the cool thing is, when pitaya is ripe, this peel comes away so nicely, and you can just peel as you eat. So, this is more tart than what I'm used to, and it's actually doing a lot for it. It's doing a lot of favors for it. Unfortunately, I don't believe this peel is readily edible or choicey, you know? Everything I've heard, you just discard it. And there's probably some type of way of using it if you're in tough times, but I've never looked into it, not yet. A question for the far future from Gabby. What's the plan for after I've gone through the whole English alphabet? So I have a couple of thoughts. One might be that I'm Meowkbanged out, and I might be like, okay, well, thank you all for doing this. It's like a unus annus thing. I'm just boom, I'm done. Maybe not. That may not be how it actually plays out. Another thought might be doing a like the pride of various regions of the world type Meowkbang. I get the most famous dishes from several countries of several regions that are lesser known but really delightful, and I can find them in good quality or good representation. Something like that might be fun. And then I also considered, because it is so totally on the table, we've only scratched the surface. With all four of these letters, we only really scratched the surface of some of the cool stuff that there is out there. So just going back through the alphabet is not out of the question. It may be a little dumb, but it's not out of the question. So, in pitaya, or dragon fruit, there are many, many seeds. Even more, I think, than what you get when you eat a piece of kiwi. But that said, the texture of the main flesh of this fruit is akin to kiwi, like a ripe one. Now, the flavor of this white fleshed, red skinned pitaya is not anywhere near as tart or as even as fragrant as like a green kiwi. Um, that said, it is still like pleasantly like with a delicate fragrance, a nice tartness, and some things you really ought to eat just for this beautiful, wonderful, lovely texture that they have. And that is something that can be said of this. The texture is like really remarkable. It's just so refreshing. It is right in between like a fleshy, fruity kind of, or a fleshy kind of fruit texture, and then something almost creamy. But the seeds bounce it back with tons of little crunch. So once in a while, a dragon fruit or pitaya is a really lovely treat. Yes, I'm still thinking, because 26 streams of this nature, that's a lot. A lot of things, a lot of planning, curating. Um, I'm trying to go for like a mix of quality and quantity and have a lovely time and a good presentation, as well as making some reasonable observances. Like with the Meowkbang C, I believe we pushed it back because of a food shortage crisis or food stamp crisis here in the US, and stuff like that might come up, but still otherwise it's just marching through 26 weeks of a lot of planning and stuff. So it is very possible that I would want a considerable break if I do make it all the way through the alphabet. But I'm having so much fun that that could just be not even close to what actually happens. Let's cut a couple more of these up just so that I have them at the ready for while we're going through and sampling other stuff. Because having to jump back and forth and worry about, oh, is the blade clean or does it taste like savory food or what? That's not terribly fun. So I just want to get these slices of dragon fruit ready for, who knows, 10, 15 minutes from now, maybe even just a couple minutes from now, depending. And we'll go ahead, set this guy right We'll set this guy right over here, gently resting on my Daifuku box. Let me see. I'll get these guys out of the way. I ought to invest in a little bin, huh? A little bin for all my little discards. No worry. All right. I was just about to say something very silly. Can you believe it? I was about to say, let's try something else that starts with a D. Like, let's try something that starts with a D, as if there's some contrast there. All right. Gosh, it is so tough to decide which of these to try first. So, this one is labeled Dolmadakia. This one is just labeled Dolmads. They're both the same thing. One is from Trader Joe's supplier, and then this one is from Krinos. So, gosh. We could just try them side by side. I don't think that would end tragically. All right. Let's slide the beer over nicely. Yeah, get the butter knife in the little groove there. Get it in the trough. No, I can put that with the butter. How about it? Hide this little sucker because I don't need it right this second. And Dolmads by Trader Joe's. How expensive is an episode of the mukbang? That's a good question, Gabby, because it is a consideration. It's something that I worry about from time to time. Just for, like, people maybe getting upset with me or something. I would say that an episode of this ranges from between 40 and 110, roughly, dollars. Somewhere between 40 and 110 bucks for me to do an episode of the Meowkbang. So it is pretty gourmet. I would say 40 was a very lucky one where I didn't have my ideas, my ducks in a row, and my kitchen was working nicely, so I was able to cook a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff I was able to prepare it for myself following very authentic instructions, and that helps. That helps immensely. Ta-dam! Oh no, it's like the one spoon I brought. I need a fork to gently lift one of these guys out. So, these are Dolmads by Trader Joe's. Oh, man, look at that. Look at that tragedy right there. Oppa, indeed. Alright. Dick? Dirt? Eating dick dirt? Dick dirt dinner? Thank you so much for coming, Chimera. I'm getting auto-modded despite being respectful. I allowed it. It's cool. Eating dick. Add as permitted terms? Yeah, we're down for that here. Welcome in, Chimerak. I'm so glad that you're able to make it. Welcome to Meowkbang D, as in Delta or Doggy. And in speaking of Doggy, my doggy is actually nearby. He is hovering around the area. Okay, so that first one, I was kind of in a battle haze when I tried it. There is a bit of the snappiness. Like, people want there to be a snap somewhat from the leaves being of good quality, good thickness, and, you know, good preparation and everything. But there wasn't much. The leaf, or the rice flavor is good. It has that light tinge of mustard that you want. I say mustard. I just mean a mustard-like flavor. I think that they did something with the herbs, like they did put an herb blend in here. But it's very gentle. Because in addition, Oh, Chimerac, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Are any of like your all-time favorites on here? Oh, but in addition to the rice, there should be like onions, a little bit of I think like mint, and maybe pepper. Okay, krinos. Now I don't mean to be like rude or maybe unfair, but I have much higher hopes for the krinos one than for Trader Joe's one. I'm not gonna start ragging on Trader Joe's because I do think they actually bring a lot of really cool stuff to the general public. So I really appreciate them for that. Ooh, okay. The Krinos one, off the rip, the Krinos one has a much more strong herbal scent. And by the way, there are probably many different correct recipes for dolmas. Let me see if I can find a list of ingredients. Vine leaves, rice, onions, water, sunflower oil, salt, spices, citric acid. Okay, well, without further ado, let's try the Krinos Dolmadakia. Mmm. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be hard to really show it or demonstrate it over the camera, but the texture here is more firm and substantial. The citrusy or like lemon flavor is a little bit more pronounced. It comes through a bit better. And it's not minty, but it does feel like they used some of the more pungent aromatic herbs, and I really dig that. That said, I could see my taste buds getting more tired eating this one after the other, whereas I could practically load myself up on these and be like, yeah, I'm loving it, baby, and just going way too into it. Oh my gosh, homemade dolma from your Iraqi coworker. That is so cool. Man, I'm hyped for you. I'm hyped for you, Kamarak. The cheesecake. Yes, the cheesecake is gonna be a little bit janky. The list is misleading, and I apologize. I apologize already. If you were in the Discord, you may have linked together some clues to recognize this is what I was talking about, but I don't think even most of my friends there would have. This is the double blueberry cheesecake. It is a tart ale made by one of my favorite breweries up in Oregon, and it's called Great Notion. So, love that. Can't wait to try it. You know, I think what would be actually a really appropriate mix for having these out is another one of our beverages. Thankfully, it's one that I can put away with amnesty. It's not like going to cause an actual tragedy. Tragedy on the set. Check this out. Iron Dogh. So Iron is the name of the like the maker. It's the brand, but this particular beverage is called Dogh or Dugh. It gets pronounced a lot of different ways, and I'm probably not even doing any of the authentic ones any justice. But Dugh is a like slightly fizzy, yogurty beverage. When you have it, you do want to shake it, but you want to shake it gently. Just like that. Let's see. Right, life is an adventure. Sorry to mislead. It's just there are so many things that have double in the name, and this was something that I had already gotten from the brewery because the distributor was a real sweetheart, and he basically just let me try it because he saw how much I liked the regular blueberry. Um, and I was also feeling like icked about like, oh, I can't just keep adding and adding stuff where it's like double this, double that. It felt uh bear with me. It felt cheap, so I kind of felt begrudgingly that I even included that one. But that's neither here nor there. I very deliberately included double brie or double cream brie. So, I mean, what can I say? You just do a little. Just do it in sparing amounts. When I get to tea, I guess I have to include triple cream brie. Ooh, wow. So the Dogh has a very pronounced like milk product type of smell. I don't want to mislead. I don't want to mislead and say that it smells akin to cheese because I feel like that's not right. It smells like right when you create a big pot of yogurt and you open it for the first time, and that intense yogurt fragrance like kind of washes over and you're like, "Oh, that's yogurt, all right. That's fresh yogurt." Oh no. Oh, very. Welcome in, very. A carton of Faye in the evening of 3 a.m. A carton of me? A carton of... Okay. PB&J beer. I have had one that I really liked. I then started trying every PB or peanut butter beer that I could find. And I quickly ended up like, oh, they're not just automatically good. All right, let's give this a shot. Okay. A pronounced yogurty flavor. As with many drinks from this part of the world, there is this very deliberate addition of salt that you can taste right away. The salt is very important in hot regions of the world. Is really common for people to just include a bit of salt in everything because you are constantly shoving your sweat out in an attempt to keep your body safe. And it actually doesn't do too bad in terms of flavor. So PB&J beer, what does that even taste like? I gotta say, they are usually stout. So imagine a stout or a porter sometimes. So you got that dark malt. But then, oh, Adrian, thank you for coming. Regardless of, I know it's super late over there. You're like at least 8 hours ahead of me. And no worries. I'm glad that you were able to make it. Welcome in. Yeah, PB&J beer is usually pretty dark. It usually is kind of forward on the PB flavor. And if it does that, it can really go one of two ways. It can split right there because you can either try too hard to make the PB pronounced and you can end up with like this really weird, bitter, acrid flavor. And if you don't do it enough, then people are just going to be like, well, what was that? That was just a stout, dude. Tasted like a PB&J potion. Okay. I'm down. I'm diggity down. Like that sounds really fun. All right. I ran Dogh, or like I said, can also be pronounced Dogh. Really pleasant. Really pleasant. I'm going to appreciate that as we go down the list, and I've had like 3 beers by the time this is over. You can tell this is a real hydrator of a drink, and it's quite pleasant too. If you're at all a fan of dairy, like I am, if you couldn't guess, I really like dairy, then it's a lovely beverage. Lovely beverage. Love me some dairy. Like I can't express it enough. Very. If it's actually 3 a.m. where you are, I'm actually perplexed. Are you in like Australia or something? Oh man, Dolmas, Dolmadakia, Dolmades. We're gonna have to just sample them all across the ages. You know, keep naming them other things, folks. Keep naming them similar things so I can keep trying them just to see if there's a difference. Oh, you're in the Arabian Gulf. Wow. I never like, I don't generally try to guess, but I never had just thrown that guess out there. Very cool. So glad that you're joining me from there. That's a really You know, makes me feel really good. Thank you. Adrian, thanks again for coming. Cheers to you and have a great EP time. So this is not on my pinned list for anyone who dropped in now. This is actually an Irlbacher Dunkel for export. So it's from the Irlbacher brewery. It's a Dunkel, but it's specifically a brew of Dunkel for export, I guess. Really excited to have tried that. I got it as part of a big cluster of 24 authentic German beers that just happened to be available at Costco next to me. That might be, as of yet, my favorite kind of Daifuku. I love sesame seeds. The red bean paste blend from this particular maker is really good. There is not too much that I could say that I don't feel positively about. Oh man. Okay. Okay, let's get into some stuff, guys. Let's get into some stuff. Okay. One more there. And one more there. So guys, this is Alexian duck liver and pork mousse with cognac and truffle oil. Oh my goodness. So I've had a liver mousse maybe once or twice before, and I have no really negative memories of it. But I hardly have many ultra vivid, ultra clear memories of it all the same. Oh my, what do I want to go about this? Does the plastic bifurcate? Does it split? It does. Okay, perhaps I'll have an easier go just opening it as the maker intended. No. No, I didn't. That's okay. Okay, so we have the liver mousse. I think I'm just going to have to wipe this knife off. Just have to do it nicely. Bring it over to the edge there. Bring the edge down onto the wood. Bite in. And slide, slide, slide. Because the knife is not razor sharp. Okay. I've got something just for the occasion. A plate. Yes. Definitely want to use a plate for this type of thing. So liver mousse has a pronounced flavor that I did not like as a child. As a kid, I thought liver mousse was gross. I just was like, why would you do this to yourself? Who is this for? Why is it so icky? But I've actually come to feel that it's decently enjoyable. It's a decently tasty little treat. It's very savory, though. Many things that, as you get older, they come to taste just savory. When you're younger, that's not the case. They don't taste just savory. They might taste quite awful, bitter, or like metallic, or just altogether strange. Okay. I would like to do like a half-sized bite. So we've got our Dutch Crunch bread and some of our duck liver mousse. It also, of course, includes like essentially like a high-quality version of lard to help make it even more spready and flavorful. I've gotta say, I'm. You'd probably miss it if it wasn't there, but I'm not really getting the cognac. Like the cognac is a real like background player. It is not in the foreground of this set of tastes, but this is really good. It's very pungent. It's very, very fragrant, extremely savory. There are certain flavors that you get in like some jerkies and some types of like preserved meats where you get like this really savory like corkscrewing flavor. I'm not sure. It's probably the duck. I'm thinking about corkscrews because of ducks. Let's move on. But you get this really dancing flavor where it comes back. It like teases on being like overmuch, funky and bitter, but then it dances back and it's just smoky and like pleasant and savory. I like stuff like this, but you can't just like eat like a big serving of it. That's why it comes portioned out kind of small, I think. Very fun. Let's get another piece of dragon fruit real quick. It is so like light, juicy, and fresh. Between that and the daikon, my palate, my taste buds have nearly forgotten that I was just eating this like duck liver mousse. Very fun. Ought to have another bite already. Oh, ought to have a sip of beer and then a bite of this. That is actually really perfect. You get the beer, really like astringent sort of wax over the taste buds, and then you follow it up with something like this, so rich and velvety. That is a good beer. Germans and Czech folks, and I mean, yeah, I really love German beer and Czech beer. Let's see here. I'm like, sometimes I get this little moment of like decision paralysis. Like, what do I have next? What do I do next? I'm always open to suggestions. So never feel like this is not like gaming. Like, you never need to feel bad about throwing in your little 2 cents of backseating. Imagine I add that tag to the stream. Like, backseating, welcome. Some people will just think, oh, you forgot to change it after your last stream. You might want to update that. Okay. It's high time I get these little crackers out. I'm gonna call them crackers because, to me, digestives with no sugar, no sweeteners whatsoever, that is more like a really nice graham cracker. Like a really just a nice graham cracker. It's starting to regret not bringing scissors. I brought them the last few streams, and I think the very last time I brought scissors, I barely ended up actually using them. Like, I think just a teensy little bit. Okay, yeah, let me get you guys a couple out here, and then I want to get you a close-up. I want you to see just, I love stuff like this, where the food is basically embossed. So as you could guess, like, anytime someone shows me a new type of chocolate that I've never seen before, and they're probably just talking about the flavor like a normal person, like, oh yeah, the flavor is it's so good, it's so rich, and it's toasty, and it's chocolatey, and meanwhile, I'm just, like, checking out, you know, I'm just like, oh my gosh, they wrote the name on the food. Well, that is a digestive. As I said, it is like a fibrous cookie, but when they're completely unsweetened, it reminds you a lot more of a cracker. And it has this like toasty flavor that is very akin to a graham cracker. Like, I'm not playing around when I say, like, it's more like a cracker, really. Okay, let's give Lithuania a quick little visit. Well, another quick little visit. This is Dvaro cheese. I hunted and hunted for the smallest pack of this that I could find, just on the off chance that it becomes one of the very few cheeses I can't stand. But I have my doubts. I think that this is actually a reasonably mild cheese. The only flavor element that I saw that I was like, about, was people talk about it being pleasantly sour. And there are a lot of cheeses where that is a thing, but it's brand new territory, so I'm just a smidge apprehensive. Will I be able to get the slice out in one piece? There we go. So can you guys see that? Can you see, like, the sort of almost Swiss cheese-like very tiny holes throughout? Shake my head, no dirt cup. I did bring this. Check it out. It's Dirt Lover. If I eat Dirt Lover, am I not, like, almost there? Also, welcome in, Wolfie. Thank you so much for coming. So I'm gonna go ahead and try Dvaro cheese. Okay. Oh, okay. So once again, guys, it's called Dvaro. I'm not sure if it's picking it up because it is really tiny. I would love if this stream was sponsored by Dante from the Devil May Cry series. So Dvaro's flavor is very akin to Munster. If you guys have ever tried Munster cheese, it's really similar in flavor, and I'd love to try just a nice good sized pat of it on a digestive, this little cracker cookie thing here. Okay. You see, despite having no trace of sugar in it, the very toasty grain flavor of this cracker is adding this element of natural sweetness that you just kind of can't get away from. It is very interesting, and I can't wait to sample more things paired with it. But at this very moment, it's like the Munster as a cheese would have this slightly sweet flavor that people think of. So between that and this biscuit here, you are getting like an almost like weirdly sweet type of pairing. So I'm going to add something more savory with this Delicata squash. Welcome back from EP time, Wolfie. Glad that you can make it. That's awesome, actually. Yeah, we're just sampling our way through the letter D here. Oh my gosh. Look, I got a lot to bounce around in my mental. I just realized why it's sponsored by Dante. Because it's the Meowkbang D. Duh. Man. It's like I can't lie, I can't like hide from this. I am very easily bored by plain like classical mochi, but Daifuku are really lovely. Such that I can't wait to try these other Daifuku I have. The one that I had for you guys was much more traditional compared to these that I got. Strawberry and blueberry flavored Daifuku. Your guess is as good as mine. I've never played around with that. All right. So we've got some of this Dvaro. I'm gonna try to pair just the Dvaro with the duck liver mousse. I've seen people do stuff like this, but usually you would add like one little bob of like something pickled, like a pickled caper or like a piece of pickled tomato or something. It is Wolfie. It is a piece of Doctor sausage. That is literally what it is. Yep. Look at Doktorskaya sausage. Oh, heck yeah. All right. Well, that was really cool. I'm super glad I got a chance to try Dvaro, a Lithuanian cheese that I didn't even know about the existence of. I was also very proud of myself. I was just able to immediately like recognize, despite the letters being like in a fancy cursive font and looking like English letters, I was immediately able to look at it and I was just like, nope, that says Dvara, not Debapo. Like, it really looked kind of like Debapo if it were in English, but immediately I'm like, that says Dvara, doesn't it? So silly. Let's see here. Okay. I don't need to, but I kind of want to move on. Like, this is lovely, but I kind of want to move on, so the most responsible way to do that. That's gonna sound bad. That's gonna sound bad. Okay. Anyway, the best way for me to go about that is to just go ahead and finish off this lovely Irlbacher Dunkel. Dunkel for export. I don't know what the Dunkel otherwise tastes like, but very cool German beer. Cheers. Oh, I should have said. You know what I should have said? I should have said prosit. That would have been like way more authentic and cool and stuff. My mod view of the stream froze on a really funny freeze frame of me right after drinking this beer. Like right after finishing it. It was a really funny freeze frame. That pink meat cylinder from Boris's videos. Is there any better way to describe Doktorskaya? I'm not asking because I want one. I'm saying I think that that's just about perfect. And I'm really really fond of this so far. Like at first I was like it's just bologna, but now I've given it a bit more time and I think it's actually more pleasant. All right, excuse me while I bust out. I don't want to keep hitting on things that are super brand new for me because by then this will seem a bit boring. This is the double cream brie. It comes from Trader Joe's supplier. Brie is a really lovely cheese. I've known that some people are a bit put off by it, a bit scared of it because it comes basically covered in like a really light layer of mold, but the mold is pretty dead and it's like certified harmless. It is a very harmless type. So, in case you are a bit scared of or shy about brie, recommend giving it a go. And you don't have to eat the rind. I recommend you do. I think it's one of the funnest parts of the cheese. But you don't have to eat the rind at all. In no way, shape, or form is that necessary. Okay, and then we'll get these guys over here in the little divot. And there it is, double cream brie. I just want to use my little towel, give my knifey poo a nice, a nice wipe. All right, check that out. Double cream brie. So, regular brie looks a lot like this. The thing is, with double cream brie, at a certain point in the making process, cream is added into the cheese, and it cultures and it forms something akin to. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Hey guys, don't mind me. I need to plug in my little camera. Oh my goodness. Well, hang tight. I love how funny that looks. That looks like a straight up shit post. A straight up shit post. That's awesome. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah, oop indeed. Oop indeed. I might be in trouble. We'll see if that stays. But if not, oh my goodness, right? Okay. Well, a little jank, as it tends to be, it tends to be quite jank, but we've got it running, and I can't complain. That is indeed a running stream. Sweet. Well, Brie, let's go ahead and have ourselves a bite. So, straight up, Brie is super, super creamy. It's super creamy, and it has this unique fragrance to it. One that, once you're more familiar with more cheeses, you would just start to call this like the Brie aroma, the Brie fragrance. It's it ranges from being like really light to being profoundly strong. And that is more so common in like cheeses like camembert and others related to brie. But no doubt, this is still quite a pungent one. You know, if you get right up close and you sniff it, but it's not like Limburger or any of those like legendary stinky cheeses, as people call them. This is a little something different altogether. It's like a fermenty type of sharp aroma that dies off very quickly. Oh, Boris made a how to make Dr. Sausage at home. That's actually really cute. I may have seen it. I've seen quite a few people make stuff akin to it, like how to make your own bologna, how to make this and that. But I freaking love Boris cooking videos. Gosh. So Brie is usually best paired with, a lot of people would argue it's best paired with fruit. I've seen like this thing going around. I was tempted to try it for the letter B, but I shied away from it. It's a Brie burger. So people usually take a Brie round about the size of this and will just put it on top of a burger. And that's like the whole gimmick, the whole, I don't know, the whole attraction. It's it's not what I wanted for the B Meowkbang because I was having a bison burger. And bison, I wanted to appreciate its flavor, so I used a much gentler cheese, burrata, you know, but that's neither here nor there. Oh my gosh. So, certain foods coat your taste buds in just the right way, such that things you taste after the last food will hit really different. I remember McDonald's fries. People, when I was growing up, McDonald's fries were one of the ones that people argued would do this to your taste buds. You eat them, and then you drink like Sprite or Powerade or something, and so much is going on with your taste buds, and they're coated in such a way that the initial taste of that different food hits so hard and abrasive and abrupt and violently bad. And that's kind of what happened to me just now, going from the super rich, straight chunk of brie that I just ate to a piece of dragon fruit. Crazy. It was like I was eating something doused in hand sanitizer. But that was just for the first bite, so let me see what the second one. We're already back. It already tastes like normal dragon fruit again. It's really weird. I love that he was able to make it into the tube shape. Because to make a big Doctor sausage or bologna or anything like that, and to get a big one and to make the tube shape without like industrial manufacturer scale application or appliances, that's an undertaking. I'm putting it as light as I can by saying that's an undertaking. Let's have another bite real quick of pork poster, pork tapestry, or whatever. Let's have another bite of the popular pick, the Döner, the Kebab, because I don't want to just like have 3 bites of it and then kind of wait an hour. I'd like to have another bite now. Yeah, Döner kebab's pretty sweet. I gotta say. Honestly, Wolfie, like no matter what you do with Brie, it is a lot of goopiness. It is like almost by default it's a lot of goopiness. Really yummy goopy. Like a really delightful goop, but still a goopiness all the same. Okay, so what is this? Is the Trader Joe's Dolma? Like I said, they're different. Neither of them is better than the other, but they just accomplish a really different thing. They taste really different. Like, invite me to your wedding, and if you're featuring either of these, I'm very happy. But I'll just eat different amounts depending on what all else is there, I guess. I don't know why it has to be a wedding. Invite me to your wedding. Okay. Heck yeah. Very fun. Very fun. I mean, I love Brie. It's almost like not even a fair thing. It's like, oh, it's just here because it's double cream. Okay, wait. Gabby, if you go to Zomdog Zam and or the Laz Lycan stream, Wolfie will not have a mod badge there, but I do agree. At this point, it would be kind of weird. I just, after this many, like after like years of seeing trustworthy behavior and also just really fun, like pleasant company, I was like, yeah, you're getting modded. You're getting modded immediately. Sorry. I did offer to take it back. I did offer to take it off. It's true. That's that's really good. Not the food. The food's good, of course, but that's really good. You are becoming a mod. Please do not resist. That's exactly how it happened. It's canon. It's canon. Okay, guys. I've got yellow dragon fruit, Danablu, blue Danish cheese, dirt lover. What do I try next? GWS? I don't even. I'm a little too. I'm a little too Meowkbang brained to even recognize GWS. So, just double brie on a biscuit, like a digestive biscuit. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. But it's like literally begging, like in my mouth, for fruit, like a slice of fresh apple. Yo, heck yeah! I'm shocked. Like, I mean, they have so much parody. Like as a pair, they're such a pair or a duo that I do think that they get by fine having no other mods. But if they weren't at all, then yeah, Wolfie. I think Wolfie would be like one of the. Oh, see, I was even trying to remember all the different Monhun weapons. When you said GWS, I'm like, I don't know, like great welding something, because there's one that has like a 3 letter. It's like heavy bowgun or something. I think it's like heavy bowgun. It's like HBG or something. So when I saw GWS, I'm like, I feel like this is like a Monster Hunter thing, guys. At least I was almost there. Great welding spanker. You weld the monster's arms together. Then you get back, and then you just capture complete. All right. Now we're just never gonna revisit what I just said ever. Sorry, chat. Oh gosh. Okay, let's see if I can do this really nicely so as to create almost no vibrations. Vibey wibies. It's like an ASMR stream, right? I'm like, it's like, oh yeah, you've been a bad can of milk. Right. Here goes Dairy Girl. Oop. Oh, heck yes. Heck yes. I can dig it. You know what we haven't been having enough of? HBG and LBG. Okay. Knew it. Heckin' called it. We haven't been having enough of this Dutch Crunch, so I'm definitely revisiting that like right now. So let's get some of this evaporated milk. I love evaporated milk. What I'm not sure about is Dairy Girl. I don't know anything about Dairy Girl. Smells lovely. Smells great. Okay. Hold up a second. Okay. So I think it could be just everything else I've eaten today, or it could be a legitimate complaint. There's this like extra cooked flavor going on here. Oh no, this is not sweetened at all. This is just double milk. It's evaporated milk. So for every like sip of milk you have, you kind of like had a milk. You kind of had like 2 sips of milk. There's this like extra cooked flavor to the milk that, I mean, it is super cooked, so don't get me wrong, but there's something about it that I have like I have some uncertainties about. Okay. Maybe taking it back now. That's actually really good. Yes, for anyone here who is not a cat, you should still just try this anyway. It's really lovely. You know, it's like milk and then milk and like extra milk. The only problem you're gonna run into is the one I'm running into right now, where you feel like quite a thirst building up. And you're like, why do I feel a thirst building up? I thought I literally just had a beverage. Is that not? Yeah. So this is a little scary. It's the biscuit and cream from... Oh, I love you so much for referencing that. Thank you so much. That is such a... that is such a choicey reference. Creme de la Edgar. Yes. See, that is why they have mod. That's why they're mod. So this is a drink called Dr. Perfy. So Perfy is a brand of sodas, and that's why I decided to feature this, because this is the Dr. Perfy. And it seems to be like their try at having an answer to Dr. Pepper. But the ingredients are off the wall. They are practically bonkers next to Dr. Pepper. So we basically start off with tamarind. So tamarind puree, pear juice, blackberry juice, Marion blackberry juice, sea salt, stevia, monk fruit, L-theanine, and then ashwagandha. Ashwagandha? Like, am I gonna be okay after I drink this? Am I gonna have emotions still? I'm sure I will, but yeah, crazy. Oh, wait up. What is that familiar fragrance? Oh my goodness, what is that? Oh, it's it's perfumey. It's very perfumey. It's like just no sleeping pills in this dish. This fragrance is akin to many purple candies. Bear with me. I've had like some lavender candies that flirt with this type of taste or smell, and I've had like some purple Pez or purple like hard candies that never say what flavor they actually are. Wow. All right. Cheers, Dr. Perfy, Esquire. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the full name, Gabby. I nearly caused a faux pas there. Okay, so calling it Dr. Perfy should not that's not a great idea. I think you know what you're doing, or you should, when you call your soda Dr. anything. Not to mention the first letter of this doctor's name is a P, Perfy. But whatever. The flavor is akin to lavender. It's even a little bit akin to if you've ever had musk candy. It's like an Australian and like European thing. Um, and it's even flirting with the flavor of bubblegum, like pink, neon pink bubblegum. So the flavor is also neon pink, not just purple. Anyway, pleasant and yes, definitely a thirst quencher. No, Perfy. If you want to check that out, I mean, I'm totally in support of you trying it if you can find it. It's a little too pricey. I would not personally be caught stocking these in my fridge. But as like a special occasion type of deal, I can get behind it. I can be there to approve. So, yeah. Yeah. Creme de la Edgar. It's like the right kind of cookie too. Man, that's quite the gauntlet. That is quite the gauntlet I just put myself through. Bite with Brie, bite dipped in Dairy Girl, sip of Dairy Girl, sip of Dr. Perfy. And yet, nothing offended. Like it was a really gentle kind of ride to go on. You know, guys, I was really considering it featuring something. Really considering it. About 4 separate times, I almost put the stuff necessary in my cart. And that thing was going to be Dalgona coffee. Dalgona coffee is a somewhat trendy type of coffee based drink. It's made by taking highly concentrated powdered espresso or instant coffee, whisking buttload of air into it, making it fluff like meringue, and it actually holds its shape for many, many hours. It is a stubborn type of thing. Something to do with the complex carbs inside of the coffee related to those that create crema, for those of you who are like coffee fans or coffee nerds. The la crema, when you're making coffee, which is like an indicator of quality and stuff like that, if you take that and you manipulate it to the nth degree, you get this foam that is super stable, and you can then scoop the coffee like a cloud onto like a couple thimbles worth of cream at the bottom of a cup. This style of serving coffee was called Dalgona coffee by people who popularized it. And it might have something to do with the fact that Dalgona candy is very foamy at one point in when it's being made, or something that could have something to do with it. So this is Dalgona candy. I have never held a piece of this in my hands before. Could have something to do with the commerce and the journey it took to get over here, but it is very sticky. Do any of you guys recognize this? Dalgona candy? Oh, what is this from? I've seen this somewhere. Alright. I was gonna leave it up to chat if I should do the game. If I should do the game with it. But I got the circle. And I didn't know that when I bought it. I bought it in a rush. It was in like its own box. The box fell apart. That's another story entirely. And then I didn't get the umbrella, which was available, by the way. I didn't get the triangle. I didn't get the square. I got the freaking circle. So I feel like this would be really easy to win. Or I'm just going to get shot in the head. Okay, as one would expect, the flavor is very caramel. Okay. It seems like you can bite it without too much issue. It is very tacky, like in texture. The flavor is almost like essence of toasted marshmallow. Like, it goes so hard on the toasted marshmallow type flavor. Actually kind of lovely. This is like the most candy thing I've had on the show so far. God, it is so much sugar. Imagine me being in the I'm like in the actual Squid Game. There's just a guy with a big gun. And I'm supposed to get it out. I'm just like, dude, it's so much sugar, bro. How do you expect me to do this? It's so much. Okay. Once I get the circle out, or if I die, I don't want to eat any more of this. This is pure sugar. It's kind of overwhelming the cat. I haven't screwed up yet. Like truly, let me bring it all the way up. Like I would count that if I was the guy with the gun. What the hell is this? Okay. Let's go. God, it's getting really sharp. It's getting really... Everything I have to drink is like either sweet or rich. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Oh. Oh no. Dang. Oh. It's tasty. After like the third nibble, I'm like, hey, that's pure sugar, bro. Okay. Faye suffers for content. I hope that that's never what it actually seems like. Well, okay. I was just fussing for like 4 minutes. Well, it looks like I won't be making it to the next round of the Squid Games. Good Lord. Oh, that was so sugary. Let's just rock my world. Let's just rock my world, everybody. We're just gonna do this. Oh, I don't eat candy much, guys. And when I do, it's like dark chocolate with like almonds and caramel and stuff. Maybe caramel. Anyway, very cool, very fun. Dalgona from Korea. Thank you, Korea. This is Danablu. Danablu, probably from Denmark. Let me actually double check you on that one. Protected geographical indication? What? Okay. Okay, it's probably from Denmark. We'll learn more about that together later. I would imagine if you're putting like protected geographical indication on it, it wouldn't kill you to also say if it's from Denmark. Anywho, this is a cheese associated culturally and historically with Denmark. Wow. Okay, there it is. There is that, like, the blue cheese iconic smell. But it is, I don't know, it's shockingly light. I'm a little scared. I imagine that it's gonna hit me pretty soon here. It's gonna get kind of cray. Gonna get kind of cray cray. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Um, unknowable cheese location. Yeah, this cheese came from Albion. Wait, no, that's a real place. This cheese came from Narnia. The one cheese. Uh, I love this board. I got this board. I got this board for like $4 from Goodwill, and the guy who was getting me at the check register was like, "Yeah, there's not a price tag on here anywhere. You sure you didn't rub it off? Okay, fine." And then he like shouted out to his manager who was across the store, and he's like, "Phil, what about this one?" And he holds up the board, and the guy just apparently like did like a, and I was like, "What did he say?" He's like, "God, that's generous." And I was like, "What did he say?" He's like, "You're getting it for $4." And I was just like, I will cherish this thing until it breaks. So yeah, I'm getting a plate. I'm getting a plate for this. I don't know if like the cheese is leaking a little something. Like it has a juice. Do you see that? It has like a freaking juice to it. So, anywho, we're just gonna do that to protect my favorite cutting board. My dog is in here, and he's going crazy. He can smell the cheese. I mean, it smells like blue cheese. It smells like blue cheese, and it smells a bit like feta, and it looks a lot like feta if you look at the like the rind side, so to speak, the wash side of it or whatever. And just about that far. This is as far as I can go. Here, be an actual good host, Faye. There you go. Look at that. It's akin to feta in texturing. So let's go ahead and get a nice big. I'm gonna get a nice big slice off of this guy because I'm not too shy. I used to hate blue cheeses as a kid, and I've come around so much to them to the point where I'm just like whatevs about them. Like I don't mind at all. It's kind of ironic, isn't it, that I'm doing a Dutch crunch with the Danish blue cheese. Hello, Ali. Hello. Oh man, I want to pick him up. I want to pick him up and show you guys. But I guess everyone here knows exactly what he looks like, so he can just stay here. He's booping me. He is like jabbing me with his face. It's really cute. Okay, Danablu on Dutch crunch bread. Let's like smush it down a little bit. Like I love that it's standing so proud, as if this is part 4. But I just want like a little bit more smushy. Smush it down. The fragrance, again, really close to feta with just a little bit of the blue cheese, which is crazy. Look how blue it is. Okay. Okay. On the finish. On the finish for sure. So, throughout the eating process, the flavor is really just akin to feta. And I think that that's actually why it's juicy. I think that this is a type of cheese that comes in or spends some amount of time in like maybe a briny solution. I'll have to do more research on Danablu. I am woefully unprepared to explain Danablu to you. Or it could be Danablu, but I'm gonna guess it's like Danablu. So the aftertaste is way more of like a blue cheese, like that funky, pungent, like notes going everywhere from like just a traditional like dairy all the way out to like these intense like rugged fermented little notes of fragrance. Thankfully nothing like skunky, and there's no like gym sock. I just need to throw those out there because that's a real concern, and I'm not getting that here. I'm virtually not getting anything close to that. Hell no. No. No, absolutely not. That after that, that is the worst thing I've done since I started doing this. Oh my god. Oh. One sec. Okay. Saved the day. Yeah. So anyhow, might just get Dr. Perfy out of here. I don't know. I'm scared. I don't know. I don't want the next time that happens. Basically, I drank this, and then all I could taste was like metal. It was like metal and medicine. It was really weird. So yeah, good cheese. Good cheese. I actually would love a piece of it with Doktorskaya, Doctor sausage. So let's do that. Let's experiment by bringing those two together. When you wipe a knife off, be sure that your fingers don't bend over the blade or arch over it at all, and just try to keep them super parallel. Even use the flat of your hand because it's even more flat, and just rub it parallel with the knife blade. This may be obvious to most, but I just don't want to hear that anyone watched me do stuff with a knife and gets hurt. Plus, I've taken like 2 years of culinary training, like culinary education, not training. And I definitely saw some freak accidents happen. Okay, that is a little partial. Let's get a bit more of a complete slice. Doctor sausage. Okay. Doctor sausage. Oh yeah, we got some bread here. So we'll do like we'll kind of do like a butterbrod, but I don't really want to go back and forth between the butter and everything. So we'll just kind of break this up a bit because the Dutch crust is the crunch, I should say the Dutch crunch is a little bit crazy. Get the Doctor sausage on there. Get a piece of Danablu on there. Yes, Wolfie. I need to go deep into the library of cheese and like raid the library of cheese for all of the cheese secrets. Not Wolfie's hand. Oh no. All from watching me do knife technique. The whole hand. The whole hand. Oh my gosh, no. You know, funny thing. I factory reset this today. I factory reset this guy today, and I do kind of wonder, like, oh man, is it anger-y? Is it all angy at me? Right. This is peak stream visual. When I show you guys stuff, you know, this is the kind of stuff, you know, anyone who coordinates like this, it's the stuff that they're really hoping to show you guys. Dang. Oh no. I think the battery is like very upset at me. Okay. This is the best outro screen I have ever given anybody. I want to thank you all for hanging out as I've had an awesome time. I think I need to give my camera more life juice, because I started the stream whilst basically having it at like 80% battery or 90%, and then just ran the stream without actually having the freaking camera plugged in. Huge bummer on my part. Definitely not what I'm shooting for when I set all of this stuff up. And let me just try clicking it one more time, seeing what happens. But my guess is that I kind of I kind of killed it. So yeah, whoopsie daisy, real whoopsie daisy right there. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. A few things did go untried, but I mean, such is life, I guess, and I'm really thankful that it was only like 2 or 3 things. So you guys are awesome for coming and hanging out with me, and I'm really excited to do this again another time, like next week or something. And if anyone would like to come hang out a bit more in general, talk about the Meowkbangs a bit more, and oh hey, you guys got like the grandpa home video experience. You got like my big ass hand right up in your face. Yeah, I love how the video is becoming more and more angled. That's okay. Yeah, if anyone is interested in being around to discuss the future of Meowkbangs and talk about potential additions or fun stuff to do during the stream, that would be so freaking cool. And let me just go ahead and really quickly cheers you guys for coming here. I wanted to, and since we got this stuff back up and running, may as well. This is double blueberry cheesecake tart ale. That will be my last drink for the day. And let's go. I'm gonna send us off, I believe, with a nice little raid. Gonna go ahead and join one of my new friends because she's doing some fun stuff today, I'm pretty sure. And I thought it would be kind of cute to jump in and see what's good. Just see like what kind of stuff they're up to. Um, Nothing much, nothing crazy. But yeah, so let's try this ale before I send you off. You'll get my quick express tasting notes. Oh yes, what I was talking about was the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, it's on the Twitch. I'm discombobulated. GoPro did it to me. That is a very creamy scent, like a very cheesecake-like smell right off the get-go. It's not like as cream cheesy, like not like funky, like you kind of get a little bit of funk off of like premium cream cheese. No, it's just like a light fragrance, akin to what you might get out of like a fresh cold tub of like fruity yogurt or something. The berry is very pronounced though, and the tartness of the ale. Let me try a few sips because I'm worried. I've had so much cheese back to back that we're not really getting the right amount of tart, because it's starting to taste a little bit more bitter than sour. Okay. It is, in fact, quite sour. There's a hint of bitterness because it is an ale, and there's definitely a fruity fragrance uh, above all else. I was almost trying to dig past that, but the blueberry is very forthcoming. It's very tart, it's very berry, so to speak. But all in all, really cool. Okay, now that we're at this stage and everything, I wanted to do something fun. Since he's right here, I got my little guy. I want you guys to see him. Aw, you didn't like getting picked up, huh? That's okay. Oh my gosh, look at all of this crazy stuff. Oh my goodness. How did this get up here? That's crazy. Okay. So anyhow, you guys are awesome, and thank you for fueling my creative endeavors. A mix of fun little wordplay alphabet stuff and all of this lovely food, getting to try brand new things and revisit things I probably haven't had for a considerable amount of time. It's really cool. Heck yeah, thank you, Gabby. Thank you for coming. I'm really glad that we were all able to just do something fun and cool like that. You know, it's it's like it's part of my weekend. It's something that makes me really happy. It sparks a lot of joy to do it. Yeah, very berry blueberry. If Very was still here, it would be really fun to make some extra wordplay about that. Alright, so it looks like my friend Saucy is playing Plate Up with some of her beans. And we'll go drop in. We'll just go and say hi. She gets real excited whenever she gets a raid, so it's very wholesome. And yeah, Ali is such a good bean. Like, he could be crying. He's very apt to being a crybaby bark whenever there's like food stuff going on. I'm pleasantly surprised that he's kind of just been chilling and patiently trying to see if I'll let him share and partake in anything. I think it's really, really sweet. All right, guys. Thanks again, and thank you for dealing with my GoPro mishaps. Very, very homemade, very indie. All right. I'll catch you all again soon. I'll probably message most of you before the night's over. Be safe and have a great night.